In the previous tutorial, we wrote a program about data types, and I am going to use this program again in order to explain some more concepts of Java. Here, if you observe, we named the variable as A, as B, C and D and so on. But when coming to real-time programming, we generally don't name variables like this. We give a more meaningful name. When giving names, there are certain rules to be followed. Whenever you are naming a variable or a method or an interface or a class or a package, you actually give it a name, and this name is called an identifier. In Java, there are certain rules to be followed when you are giving names to identifiers. The first rule is the identifier can contain letters, digits, underscore, $sign. The second rule is an identifier must never begin with a number, but an identifier can start with a $sign or an underscore. The rule 3 is the keywords of Java cannot be used as identifiers. Here in this slide, you can see some examples about valid identifiers and invalid identifiers. The valid identifiers are first underscore name. That's a valid identifier. It didn't violate the 3 rules. Even the second one, $price. Whereas if you look at the identifier 2 num, this violates rule number 2. The identifier must not begin with a number, whereas here it begins with a digit 2. And the total hyphen amount identifier is also invalid because it contains a special character called hyphen in between them. Since we understood how to name variables or how to give names to identifiers, let's rename some of these variable names. I am going to rename A as number, and the same goes here and also here and also here. Let me name B as another number. The same goes here as well as here. Let me name C as price. We named a variable as number, and the other variable name has an underscore within it, and the other variable name starts with a $sign. Well, we didn't violate any of the 3 rules. So let's go ahead, open up our command prompt and compile the program. Well, it compiled successfully. So let's run the program. There you go. Well, the value of number is 10, the value of another number is 20, and the value of $price is 2.5. We had seen a specific point here. Keywords of Java cannot be used to create identifiers. So what exactly are these keywords? Java has reserved some of the words with a special meaning. All these words which are reserved by Java have a predefined meaning in Java programming language syntax. So such words are called keywords, and we will be using these keywords. In fact, we are already using these keywords in our Java programs. Throughout Java program, even if it is a simple hello world program, still we use keywords in that. List on the slide shows you all the keywords that are available in Java as of now. There are nearly 50 keywords, and you don't really need to by heart and memorize all these things. As you keep writing Java programs, you will memorize them automatically, and we have already used some of these keywords. In the subsequent tutorials, as you keep learning Java, you will understand the meaning of this each keyword. For now, just remember that there are a set of keywords and these keywords must not be used while naming an identifier. And of course, we in our previous programs also have used some of these keywords. We used public, we used static, we used void, and we also used boolean, int, long, etc. Now there are one or two words like constant and goto. These are not actually used in Java, but still they are reserved, so you cannot use them in naming identifiers. The other concept is literals. Literals in Java are a sequence of characters. They might be digits or letters or other characters, but they are a sequence of characters that represent constant values to be stored in variables. Java language specifies 5 major types of literals. The integer literal, example is 200 minus 7, and the other example you can see underscores in between numbers, and that is valid in Java. For more readability, you can use underscores in between numerics. The floating point literals and the character literals must always be surrounded by single quotes. Boolean literals, true, false, and string literals. The string literals must always be surrounded by double quotations. Well, Java has 3 reserved literals. Null, true, and false are not keywords, but they are reserved literals. So now let's see where did we use keywords in Java, as well as how can we use these literals in a Java program. Class is a keyword. Public is a keyword. Static, void, both of them are keywords. Int is a data type and also a keyword. Same goes with float. And this is a literal, and this is also a literal. True is also a literal, and false is also a literal. In string literals in Java, we can use escape sequences. Escape sequence characters in Java are characters which are preceded by a backslash, and these characters have a special meaning to the compiler. So this table here shows you the different escape sequences and their description. So if you use \t, then a tab is inserted between the text, and if you insert /n, it inserts a new line. So let's see these escape sequence characters in action. Let's open a new file. Class escape sequence demo. Public static void main string args. Let me go ahead and save this file. Escape sequence demo.java. Save. String message equals hi, have a good day. And then now I am going to print out this string to console. System.out.print. So now what we have here is a simple class with a simple main method. Inside we declared a string, and we are printing that string, that message, to the output. So let's go ahead and compile the program. Javac escape sequence demo Java. Well, the program compiled successfully. Let's run the program. Java escape sequence demo. Well, we have the message. Now, we didn't actually use escape sequence characters here. This program is as simple as is much similar to our first program. So now, let's say I want to have a bit of space between hi and also the remaining part of the message. Then what I would do is I would put a \t. What this does is it adds a bit of space. It gives you a space of a tab while printing the message. So let's compile again. Let's run again. Now you can see there is a space of tab between hi and have a good day. Now what I want is I want hi to be in one line, have a good day to be in an entirely different line, in a new line. So what would I do is I put \n. \n stands for new line character, new line escape sequence. Now again, let's save the Java file and compile, run the program. Well, now you can see hi and have a good day are in two different lines. So this is the use of escape sequences. For example, let's say, let me remove this extra space here. Let's say you want to have a good day within quotation marks. Well, you already are using these double quotations, and if you put another set of double quotations here, let's see what would this result in. It resulted in a compile time error. The reason for that is Java considers everything between this quotation and this quotation as a string, and this quotation and this quotation as a string, but the portion of the message which is lying between those two is not considered as a string. So what Java compiler is thinking is this line of code has ended here and it is asking for to insert a semicolon here. Well, that is not what we actually expected. So how do we put double quotations in between the message when we are using strings? Just preceded by a \. character. Well, now it is not a normal double quotation mark which defines a string. It is actually an escape sequence character which prints out a double quotation. So let's go ahead, save the file, and again let me clear the screen, compile the program. Well, there you go. Now you can see the double quotations before have a good day and after have a good day.